Today, let's take a look at another fairly new in market personal knowledge management app, Noteey. Let's get started. Noteey, formerly known as Muenzo, is a local-first personal knowledge management application. It features an infinite canvas or whiteboard akin to other PKM systems such as Affine or Heptabase. Noteey stands out for its capability to handle diverse file types, making it a potential versatile tool for managing personal knowledge. Following information was obtained from Noteey's CEO Alex Lowe via direct message on Discord. The project began in November 2023, initiated by Alex Lowe, who previously co-founded the video editing app VideoShow. While I haven't personally used VideoShow, Alex's background indicates that developing public-facing applications is not new to him. Originally named Muenzo, Noteey, now officially, launched in June 2024. The team is based in Shanghai, but the company is registered in Hong Kong. The team comprises of 4 full-time members and 5 part-time employees. The part-time team includes a UI designer and 4 developers, each specializing in different modules. 1 server developer, 3 module developers responsible for the Canvas, PDF, and card modules, respectively. This structure allows for rapid development while maintaining relatively low labor costs. I'm quite impressed with its current features and those soon to be released, especially considering it is still in early development stage. Let's start with strength of the Noteey. Offline functionality is a crucial consideration for users of personal knowledge management systems. Many users prioritize platforms that offer robust offline capabilities, making it a key feature for those who support it. Consequently, some applications that initially launched as online only are now attempting to incorporate offline support. This underscores the importance of offline functionality for a significant number of users. Noteey is a truly offline-first app. I have been testing it on and off for the past couple months as a free user. During this time, I have not been required to register or provide any personal information, including my email. Before using whiteboard-centric PKM, I never thought I needed this feature. However, once I started to using it, I realized how effective it is for PKM as a learner. Given that my primary work responsibility involves constant new learning from academic journals, utilizing PKM for this purpose has made it an essential feature for me. Noteey's primary working UI is indeed the infinite canvas that they call simply board. It currently supports various common and some advanced whiteboard elements, including globally shared note pieces that they call card, local board only text labeling, simple mind map, shape, image, freehand drawing tool, embedding various web contents such as web page, YouTube video. What sets Noteey apart from other PKM apps with offline support is its handling of local files. In Noteey, files are copied or stored in their original format within the natively accessible folder rather than app database. For instance, I can place an Apple Note Numbers file on one of the boards. By double-clicking it, I can open it with the native Numbers app, and any edits I make it will be preserved. Although this feature seems intuitive and simple, most other PKM apps I've tried it do not support it. This might be because they often use their own internal databases to store their files. If you prefer using Google Apps over Microsoft or Apple Office suites, possibly for online convenience, Noteey offers a useful feature. It can directly embed Google Documents, Sheets, and Slides and allow you to edit the content within the app itself. However, there's a catch. I had to make the embedded document publicly shared to work. One of my primary uses for personal knowledge management system is reading academic journals, often in PDF format, and creating atomic or permanent notes within the Zettelkasten type system. In this workflow, The ability to highlight PDFs and place those highlights onto the whiteboard, along with a quick method to return to the original reference, is extremely powerful. The latest update to the Noteey has added this core functionality. Another strength of Noteey is their business model. Noteey offers a free tier that does not require creating an account. However, this tier comes with certain limitations. The free tier supports up to 3 projects. In Noteey, a project functions similarly to a PowerPoint presentation file, serving as its equivalent. This allows users to import and export projects across devices. If a project includes local files, you cannot export it using the free tier. However, while there is a limit on the number of projects one can create with the free tier, there is no restriction on the number of boards each project can contain. So you can use projects as workspaces similar to other personal knowledge management systems. For instance, you can create 3 projects, personal, work, and other, and then create an unlimited number of boards within each project. If you've decided to use Noteey on multiple desktop OS devices or need more projects, they offer one-time lifetime license plans instead of subscriptions. I don't have this license myself, so I haven't tested exactly how the workflow operates with these licenses. However, my understanding is that if you have a desktop and a laptop where you want to sync Noteey projects, you would need 2 desktop pro licenses, one for each device. Therefore, I believe most users opting for this route would prefer to get the Desktop Pro Plus rather than Desktop Pro. The key advantage here is that these licenses are lifetime, meaning there are no limitations such as being only valid for 1 year or restricted to the current major version. Even if the developer stops supporting Noteey, we get to keep fully functional desktop app with this one-time purchase. The price point of $99 for 5 devices seems reasonable to me, especially considering that most subscription-based PKM tools cost over $100 per year. Noteey also offers an optional subscription plan known as Publisher Plan right now, which allows users to publish their content to the web. Although I have not personally used or seen this feature in action, it appears to be primarily for viewing-only purposes and seems to have limited functionality. The team, however, plans to release a web app and multi-device sync support in the near future. At that point, this optional subscription service will become valuable for those who need these features. In fact, when these updates are released, I believe Noteey's business model will align perfectly with my expectations. Pay once to own the local desktop app, and optionally subscribe to continue using their server resources. Let's examine some neutral points about Noteey. The app is currently in its early stages of development, which means many features are still being worked on. As a result, the current version may lack some core functionalities that more serious personal knowledge management users might expect. What I consider a major feature versus an optional feature in PKM might differ from your perspective, as our approaches to PKM can vary significantly. Therefore, I categorize these neutral points as features that are currently not implemented but are on the team's roadmap and expected to be released in near future. Whenever a new PKM tool is introduced, a common question arises: does it support mobile or tablet? As of now, Noteey does not have a mobile or tablet app. However, the development of such an app is on their roadmap, with an expected release in the 4th quarter of this year. Noteey currently offers a web browser app. I was able to export a non-local file containing a pcanvas.x file from the desktop app and import it to the Safari. The browser was able to display cards, mind maps, and hand drawings. I could drag and drop image files from a local folder into the web browser. However, I was unable to upload a PDF file, and the export feature from the web app did not work, even without adding any local files. I am unsure if these issues are due to bugs or limitations of the current web app. While the ability to open pcanvas.x files in a browser is impressive, the current form of web access does not fully leverage the benefits of web accessibility. True web accessibility should allow us to access our data from anywhere without needing a dedicated app. For this, we need a device or server sync. Since My Workplace prohibits the installation of any third-party applications, this feature is essential for making Noteey my primary personal knowledge management system. Fortunately, this feature is on the roadmap and is currently under the working category. Noteey's text editor offers essential features, including basic markdown support and quick access / shortcut. However, it currently lacks some advanced functionalities commonly found in other personal knowledge management tools. These missing features include table support, toggle functionality, split column view, and transclusion. Table and toggle functionality are listed on roadmap. Some people use a PKM system as a planner. Currently, Noteey does not support this use case effectively. It lacks features such as daily notes or journals, which are also beneficial for those utilizing Zettelkasten method. In this method, journal often acts as a fleeting notes tool. Additionally, Noteey does not offer to-do tagging functionality. However, both are listed on the roadmap. Evaluating a privacy policy can be challenging. While some individuals may be less concerned about privacy, many people, especially those utilizing PKM systems, prioritize it. This is due to the highly personal nature of content that users may store within their systems. You can read Noteey's privacy statement on their official website. According to their statement, the Noteey app allows users to access all core features offline without an internet connection. When using the app offline, Smart Lingo does not collect or store any personal data on its servers. If we subscribe for their publisher plan and assume similar for the future sync and web app plan, Smart Lingo uses Firebase analytics to analyze basic usage patterns and performance metrics of the Noteey app on an aggregate and anonymous basis. This includes metrics such as device types used to access the app, most used features, and app performance. However, no personal data relating to individual users is collected through their analytics. However, it is important to note that one has to trust the company's statement, as Noteey is not an open source project. The company is registered in Hong Kong, so I believe the local privacy laws will be based on there. Personally, I try to avoid storing truly private data in any PKM system. Lastly, I would like to share a few potential drawbacks or limitations of Noteey. As with the neutral points, these observations are subjective and some of you may not find them relevant. One of the main limitations of Noteey in my experience is its system-level organization. This becomes particularly evident when you try to use the app on a larger scale, where users might create hundreds or even thousands of cards and boards. Currently, Noteey does not support object note-taking, a concept that has gained popularity in various personal knowledge management systems. Object note-taking involves assigning properties to notes, enabling the creation of note groups such as books, person, movie, and software, each with their defining properties. Some PKM systems emphasize this as a core organizational design philosophy. Noteey does not have any plan for supporting this at the moment. Additionally, the current version of Noteey lacks hierarchical architecture. The developer has indicated that they are considering implementing a folder structure within each project, but there is currently no intention to group projects. Another missing feature is ability to create backlink between cards. The app also does not list anything about graph view supporting on their roadmap, so I do not believe this is their high priority. Without these functionalities, Noteey may not be suitable for organizing hundreds or thousands of knowledge-related permanent notes or cards that I'm continuously creating. Unfortunately, the developer does not view this as their high priority or target audience requirement. Based on my short-term experience, I believe Noteey's rapid development and frequent release of new features have led to some quality control issues. Despite spending relatively less time on Noteey compared to other PKM apps, I have identified several bugs already, some of which are significant from the functionality standpoint. For instance, a recent release added ability to drag PDF highlights to whiteboard. However, the actual PDF can become blank if you follow a few reproducible steps. Another example is that video items appears to allow tagging, but the tag seems to merely copied from other items and cannot edit. Another issue arises when I create a new card without specifying its title. Although the card appears on the board, I cannot reopen it, and it doesn't show up in the global library. This leads me to believe that the card was not actually created. I have identified several other bugs, and I am confident that with more time, I can discover additional ones. Although I am confident the team will eventually focus on bug squashing, it is important for users who consider using Noteey as their primary PKM to be cautious, especially when updating. You never know what type of bug might be introduced, and some could interfere with essential functionalities you rely on. Besides some quality control related bugs, Noteey currently has what I call rough edges. These are essentially friction points in the workflow. While on paper, functionality may be supported, when you start using it, you might notice that the things are less intuitive and require extra clicks. Consequently, it takes more time to use Noteey compared to other frictionless personal knowledge management systems. I have experienced several friction points in Noteey despite relatively short testing. For example, if I click on a card, I see 3 icons. I have no idea what each icon does, and honestly, even today, I tend to forget what each button means. Some of the wording is also confusing. For instance, the card pane in the lower left corner is supposed to list cards currently in the project, as well as cards that were added and then deleted from the project. The concept here is understandable. They can act as shortcuts to a card library. However, when you try to delete them, you get a prompt. My initial instinct was, is this going to delete the original card? It turns out it deletes the card occurrence from anywhere in the project, not just from shortcut or current whiteboard, making it project contextual. However, if you click rename, it actually changes the original card title. It seems inconsistent. Another example is, in order to export a project, you need to first open the project and then click share in the upper right corner, which becomes hidden if you have split pane open. I would think it's more intuitive if right-clicking on the project also have this option. You also cannot open a card in full screen directly from a board. Instead, you double-click and then it gives an option to open in full screen. These are all minor, perhaps nitpicky elements, but there are several similar issues that make me feel like I am putting in a bit of extra effort while using Noteey. Some of these points may be addressed in future fixes. However, my concern lies with the team's emphasis or priority on user experience, particularly regarding these rough edges. Given that the app is in very early phase of development, it's unclear whether the team values these aspects but has decided to intentionally address them after releasing core features, or if they view them as relatively less important in the overall app development process. Noteey does not currently support long-form writing, nor is this feature listed on their roadmap. This absence means that tools such as transclusion, reference manager integration, and graph view, essential for long-form writers, are not available. While I hope they will eventually implement a proper long-form writing tool, I do not expect this to be their priority in near future based on the current status of Noteey and their target audience. Overall, Noteey is an intriguing personal knowledge management app with its own set of strengths and weaknesses. Given its early development stage, many serious PKM users might find it not yet suitable for their primary use. However, I believe it's an app worth keeping on your radar, especially if you're looking for PKM with offline-first capabilities and an infinite canvas. In particular, if you only care about desktop app and does not like typical subscription model seen in many PKM apps. The main strength of Noteey, in my opinion, is its ability to work seamlessly with any local files using default local apps. I personally would like to see Noteey emphasize this feature and evolve into the ultimate file manager with integrated note-taking capabilities. This could essentially distinguish from other PKM tools. The primary limitation lies in its friction points. The lack of scalable organization, rough edges, and multiple bugs make it challenging to use as my second brain tool, especially since my work is highly knowledge dependent. However, I think it is particularly worth monitoring how Noteey evolves over the next 2-3 months as they plan to add multi-device sync, web and mobile app support, and hopefully focus on better quality control and smoothing out rough edges. Thanks for watching.